Yeah, basketball has always been part of my life since I was born. My dad, he's a huge basketball fan, like a Michael Jordan fan. So I kind of played a lot of basketball with him growing up, watching the Bulls play. So it kind of became very natural to me. I mean, obviously I get to play a team sport, and which is like I said, not a lot of Koreans get to have that experience. So just having a uniform, having a coach, giving us strategies, having like some sort of like a structure, I think that really made me kind of fall in love with the sport even more, and also very curious because I was like, what would it be like to be in a high level? Like, how would they do it? Like, it kind of really brought a lot of curiosity to me, and I think that started definitely a lot when I was in high school here. That's why I always say it's been a blessing that I was in this school, because like if I was at a public school in the States, it would be harder. So I think the timing and everything really fit well for me. I kind of thrive in like sports and everything. So like like I said, I didn't thought sports, there was a path for me in sports. But at the same time, with that activity and just the competitiveness and everything, it just made me I did thought about like being a profiler, getting into criminology. I was kind of into military too, growing up, and after high school, actually I did train to be like a U.S. Marine officer when I was in school, and that's when my dad told me no. But so yeah, I mean, psychology kind of played that role. I thought like, okay, if I go to psychology, I might have more options. So I think that kind of played a role, and obviously sports psychology, that was also like back into my mind. Okay, if I want to get into sports, maybe, because I don't know, but the job title sounds cool. Like I said, if I could go back, I would definitely be involved with teams, but I didn't. And I didn't because I didn't know there was a way. So I just play intramural sports. Still, I mean, I obviously live alone now, so I get to, play more like intramural sports and train and all that. So it was fun. But like I said, like my wife, she was the only Korean female sports management student in our school, University of Illinois, big school. And then she told me about this coaching class that she took. Very boring. She got a certificate, but I took it anyways, just to get my credits, and it was the best class I ever took. And then the instructor talking about how to build relationships, how to not cross the line, some of the things you gotta be like avoid, like hazing, drugs, everything. Was like, this really enlightened me. Like, I really want to know everything, because that was one thing KIS gave me, that curiosity of what it would be like to play for like a high level team like the Spurs or whatever. That class even enlightened more to that, and then that's kind of when I decided that I needed to give it a try. And I reached out to the instructor of that coaching class. He was a former volleyball coach for Illinois, Illinois has a very, very good volleyball coach, so he's been a successful coach. We talked, and then he told me you gotta find a way to get into the door. And he told me summer camps, volunteering for summer camps. So I applied every school in the country. Can I volunteer? There were like 2 schools that said, oh, you're more than, we would love to have you here. And then another thing he told me was that I learned the savvy part of it was, is there a recruit in Korea? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Let me take a look. And I told him, I think I want to go into women's sport. And he said, he thought that was a pretty smart way to get in, because I was already too late. So I was looking out, and we happened to have a 6'6" Korean girl who's the best player right now in Korean women's basketball. So I just started to reach out to her, making these connections. It never worked out, but that also kind of grabbed attention to some of the schools, and that school, one of the schools was Gonzaga. I went there. The head coach's mentor, who was with the men's team for almost 20 years, we taught, and he was like, oh, I want him as my student. So that's how it started. And then my official title was graduate assistant, which is GA, is like a high level manager. So 9 to 6, whatever, you're there, whatever they need. And so I started doing laundry for my first year, rebounding, playing, being a practice player, whatever they needed. So that's how it kind of started for me. That will be something I would love, that I would want to like our students here to know, because I mean, I've been in their shoes, so we live a very comfortable life. So I hope they know. I mean, I've been very like proponent of like following your dreams. I'm definitely up to that, but at the same time, there's a grind aspect to it. So like, you gotta be ready to grind and let yourself down, because I've seen a lot of my peers, they want to do this and that, like these different everything, and they go into that field and they say, oh, I'm just too good, I'm just too big, and even though I don't know that industry, like I know there needs to be you have to grind. Like you can't, not everything just hands it off to you. And I think that's something, if there's anybody who reaches out to me, I'll always tell them, you gotta be ready to grind, because it's not gonna be easy. And it might be very long hours, laundry, but that's part of the process. Obviously, like I learned that everybody has their own story. So like there's not one specific storyline you have to follow. I think that's why the Division III story is fascinating. Like looking at some of the coaches who started from Division III, you know, Dan Hurley as a high school coach. There's just so many ways. And so like some of those people like Brad Stevens that didn't have that former player title helped me. It was a good reference for me. Some of the Korean American coaches, like high school, that still helped me. Okay, I see somebody similar to me that is working in basketball. That helped me. And then the best one was like my mentors that I met. Coach Krause at Gonzaga, a servant leader. It's all about the players, not the coach. Just teaching me the big life philosophy really helped me. And then yeah, I think big picture, those were the people that really helped me kind of build the foundation for me to continue on this journey. And then I mean, obviously the X and O's, I've been part of the best teams. When I was at Gonzaga, similar style with the men's. The men's, they don't care. I was there watching their practice, taking notes. Coach Few, Coach Lloyd, never said a word. They were like, you could do whatever. And then when I was about to leave, they were like, oh, you probably know everything that we run because you were always there taking notes. And so I was very lucky. I found out a lot of schools don't do that. Our men's team don't allow. They like everything closed, even with our team. So like, yeah, some of those, I think I was very lucky to like meet the very good people and also very good X and O coaches. Like I said, I'm a minority. I'm still a minority where I'm at right now. And that 3.5 years was the time that I felt like most comfortable. Being Cass, I felt like I was normal. So like mentally, physically, I just felt so comfortable. I was living with my parents. I had great friends. The environment was great. So like that foundation, like, is I think what I got the most from here. I could always go back, think about the time that I felt really comfortable, didn't really have to worry about anything in life. I still have friends that I could talk to. So yeah, I think that overall memory is definitely I get the most in it, that I'm really grateful of. And it's pretty cool. Like, I feel like it got a lot better. They have an athletic director, like different departments. And so I'm like, at the same time, I'm very grateful like the school is also continuing to progress to give these students better experiences.